Welcome back and thank you for joining us on our phone-in segment. And this morning we're tackling a topic that touches the lives of every Nigerian. Nigeria's corruption perception. Are things getting better? Numbers tell one story. Now, according to the 2025 Corruption Perceptions Index, Nigeria ranks 142nd out of 182 countries with a score of 26 out of 100. That's a slight drop from last year, but still far below the global average. Now, on paper, there's talks of progress, asset recovery, digital governance reforms, and Nigerians' exit from the Financial Action Task Force grey list. But the everyday reality for millions of Nigerians often looks very different. Think about it. Citizens still struggle with delayed or absent public services, schools and hospitals lacking basic resources, fuel and subsidy funds disappearing, and court cases dragging on for years. Now, whistleblowers are intimidated, journalists face threats, and public trust in institutions is fragile. Umar Yakubu of the Center for Fiscal Transparency points to oil theft, subsidy fraud, and compromised judicial systems as reasons why real change feels distant. And yet there is hope. Small wins like recovered stolen assets, improved civic advocacy, and the digitalization, of some government systems show that reform is possible. But many Nigerians ask, why do the gains never seem to reach us? Now, this morning we want to hear from you, the mother struggling to pay school fees, the young professional trying to get a business permit, the citizens frustrated by potholes, power outages, or delayed salaries. Do you feel Nigeria's fight against corruption is making life better for ordinary people? Pick up your phones, share your stories, and let's get this conversation started. The numbers are displayed on your screen. You can also send in a WhatsApp message. Now, how we're talking about corruption in Nigeria, we have, seen reports of a lot of corruption cases. We have seen, some arrests. We've also seen ongoing investigations. But at a point, everything goes silent, and you begin to wonder. We don't get, a first-hand information as to how these corruption cases are being handled at the end of the day. And, some Nigerians are saying that it seems that some corruption cases are being handpicked, specifically for certain reasons and what have you, and not how it is meant to be when it comes to fighting corruption in Nigeria. So I'd love to hear your take concerning this. Do you think that, fighting corruption cases in Nigeria, we've seen, some changes, or it's still the way it is? I don't want us to bank on, the report that we got, first-hand experiences as Nigerians and what we see on a daily basis and how it reflects and show in our lives as Nigerians. What do you think?
Now, I would say this when it comes to corruption in Nigeria, and as you made mention that, yes, we have a body that oversees, looking into these corruption cases and making sure that they get to court and the full law is brought upon it. But at the end of the day, I believe we've mastered the art of disappearance in cases of corruption. As you mentioned, some cases seem like they're handpicked, while others get the full wrath of the law. Now, looking at it, when you are a country and you have a system where not everyone is answerable to the law, then there is a problem. Now, this in itself trickles down to the people, the everyday Nigerian, how they conduct their activities, how they conduct businesses, what they do at their jobs, how, they train their children. That in itself, it becomes instilled in you that corruption is nothing. It shows that immorality is okay, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you can be able to wriggle your way or pay your way out of whatever situation that you're in.
All right, we have our first caller. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, ladies. Always doing wonderful job. That's good. These are the calling from.
Good morning, Abasinkom. Thank you for calling in.
All right. We're talking about corruption perception index. I listened to reactions from the people this morning from Turkey, and I heard how they were reacting. Sincerely, it is said that it has dropped. It has not dropped anything. By the time this regime, by 2027, once they are no more on board, you start hearing feeling of corruption here and there. When Buhari was there, he was adjudged to be the most transparent man, the man that fears God. But what of the nation now? What of several others? I don't want to start calling their names. But the fact remains that from the grassroots, there is corruption. From every sector, there is corruption. Hello?
We're listening.
Hello?
We can hear you, Abasinkom. Please go ahead.
Okay. From every sector, there is corruption. The market women are corrupt. If they are not corrupt, you see them, they will beat the mood they use in measurement. The man that sells meat is corrupt. The one that sells pomo is corrupt. The one that sells fish is corrupt. So what are we talking about? Corruption is in all angles. So the only thing we need to do is that the government from the top, they should be transparent. Once they are transparent, then they will take shape. I want also to add that anti-corruption crusaders, they reacted this morning by saying that there's a drop. How is it they should give us the indices to show that there's a drop? Eh? If I forget my phone in the car now, will somebody not steal it? Is that not part of corruption? Is that not thief? Trust TV, you people are doing wonderful job. I want to sincerely appreciate you people because you people are so. I don't know how to categorize Trust TV, but you are one of the best television on ground that I'm seeing. I appreciate you people because of the egg woman. You are giving opportunity to Nigerians, giving opportunity to market women to air their views. Thank you, Trust TV. I appreciate it. God bless.
Calling and joining the conversation. Hauwa, I like how you highlighted the foundation in which Nigerians would behave or conduct themselves or have those moral, talking about the family now. I mean, for every individual, we all belong to a family and we're all raised by a family. And how we act and how we do things, reflects really where we come from. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Okay.
I believe we lost that caller. Make sure you call us in. Call us back so that we can hear your thoughts and opinion on this particular issue that is quite important for us to understand its impact on us, its impact in our society, in its impact on everything that goes on in this country. Absolutely.
We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Bagudu. Good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, Trust TV. Good morning, Maimuna. This is calling from Maiduguri.
Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you. Well, this topic is even make us to laugh. Corruption perception. Things are getting better. Why? Somewhere else, not in Nigeria. This is the truth. But honestly speaking, if you say at the periphery level, we will agree, because there is no money to see for you to engage in corruption. Civil service, it was only salary that is flowing, and the salary every month they have their scissors to cut off. We hear complaints from the people. If they pay you salary this month, next salary it will decrease. You know, even annual increment was not there. Huh? So if at all that indices they have been making, if I doubt much if you have reflected what is happening at the top. You know, money for subsidy, why it is going? We are not seeing anything. The government say they are making money, but where is the money? They are giving it to the state governors, and some of the state governors, we are not seeing anything on ground. We are not seeing anything on ground. This cannot call it corruption. When they give you your allocation monthly, is for you to make your state a semi-paradise, but nothing to show on ground. There are some states, for them to see light in a month, to see for the whole month, it's hardly for them to see 4 hours power, 4 hours, and you say corruption is going down. How can we believe this? So honestly speaking, they have to wake up. They have to wake up. All these statements and indices on papers cannot fish them out. 2027 is around the corner. We know what we will do. But the issue of corruption is going down. Maybe it is going down in other countries, but not here in Nigeria. We are feeling the fear. We are seeing what is happening. All our eyes are open. We are seeing. You see, people are engaged in building, flyovers where it was not even required. This is not corruption. You build people the project that they do not even want it. It is not in their priority. What you're supposed to do, you are not doing it. You do something else. Is this not corruption? All the cabinets that they were in corridor of government today, they benefited of scholarship. What are they doing today? They are giving students loans. This is not corruption. A lot of things is happening, my sisters. So they have to adjust. They have to face the reality. They have to do the needful so that we can appreciate them. But as long as we are concerned today, as long as what we are seeing today, corruption is in the high gear, and nobody can make us to believe on all these created indices and some papers work. It will not work. What we are judging with it is what we are seeing practically. Nobody can tell us something on paper and say this is what is happening. We cannot agree. What we are feeling is what we can judge on it. So we are hoping and praying, just all of us to sanitize our mind, so that we should fight corruption with all sincerity. Because this corruption, before he finish with us, we have to do all what is reasonable and necessary to finish with him. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Maimuna, I believe there needs to be a clarification when it comes to this particular issue of, the Nigeria's corruption perception. Now, according to the Corruption Perception Index, Nigeria ranks 142nd out of 182 with a score of 26 out of 100, which is a slight drop from last year, which means it's worse off than last year. Now, what we want to hear from you Nigerians is, according to Transparency International, that with the Corruption Perception Index of 122nd out of 182, do you think that things are getting better? Would like to hear from you with your experiences and all the things that you perceived is happening in Nigeria. I believe we have another caller, Maimuna.
Absolutely. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Goji, calling from Zamfara State.
Gomsi, thank you for calling in. Please go ahead.
Issue of corruption in Nigeria, I say that, to me, I would say corruption has come to stay in Nigeria. Let me give you an instance. What happened? This NEPA bill that was distributed, I came across to see how much I am to pay. When I calculated the hours they give in a day is less than 4 hours. But we approximately make it a 5 hours, which is the manager. After doing that, do you believe what they put on what I am to pay is more than what I should pay? After calculating, I told the manager, calculate it, I will pay. He said I should not shout. I should just make it that way. I just pay what I want to pay and go. Those are the areas that though they might say it drops, but in their side maybe it drops. But in our own hands here, corruption has nothing to do. That come, and that is how we continue the life. Thank you.
I actually want to say something. It is devastating that Nigerians would say that yes, corruption has come to stay in Nigeria. That really shows us how our perception of the country is, our perception of ourselves, and how much we believe there can be change when it comes to these kind of vices in our society.
Absolutely, Hauwa. It is also sad to know that, corruption has eaten deep into our system. If you look at all the institutions around us, you would definitely find out that there are corruptions going around. But then we have another caller on the line who is calling to share the experience. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name?
Adamu calling from London. Hello.
Good morning, Adi. We can hear you. Thank you for calling. Okay. Please go ahead.
All right. And this morning, all of you are franking your face. You have to smile to the TV.
Adi was smiling. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you.
That's one of the ethical too. Anyway, corruption. I will start from what is the genesis of this corruption? The former youngest governor in Nigeria, Kiyawa, was married to one wife, and he became a governor. Immediately he left the government house. They charged him for embezzlement or alleged 80 billion. He married 3 wives in one day to join the one wife, making 4. So it's a lifestyle that is causing corruption in Nigeria. Nothing more. It's lifestyle. Why do you want to steal money in the first place? You want to impress who? You want to impress the ladies or what? So go and check it. It's lifestyle. That's why I love Europe. I love Europe so much. They curtail their wings. In Europe here, you can't see anybody with 4 wives. It's not possible. Which house are you going to keep them? Because it's restricted. 2 sets cannot be in one room. You have a boy of 10 years, a girl of 8 years. They can't be in one room. It's not possible. Social Security will not allow that. So where will you get the 4 wives from? So it's not possible. Maybe they will keep in Pakistan, India, wherever they come from, and they will be rotating to come here. They curtail everybody's wing. So how can you now go and steal money? Where are you going to keep the money? What do you want to do with it? But in Africa, in Nigeria, it's lifestyle. That's what is causing this problem. And it can't stop until there's a harsh penalty, like death sentence. Somebody will just go and serve government, and before you know what is happening, he left the government. They are charging for a lot of corruption. Can you imagine? Former accountant general from Kano, over 100 billion, and they give him title, a chieftaincy title. You can imagine Mefele. He was just a MD of a bank before he becomes central governor. 750 estates in Abuja. Lifestyle, you see? That's why nobody to question that where is this money come from? Malame is facing something now. 218 billion, many properties. He says he will work for it. In Nigeria, so it will continue. It can't go down until the lifestyle is curtailed. That's why they can't stay in Europe here. When they come, they run away. You can't use that life. Where will you get driver from? Where will you get boy from here? No, it's not good. Only the Arab from Saudi or Kuwait or whatever. Those are billionaires that they know they have money. You can have meat in their house. Well, that's why they can't stay here. I love Europe. We curtail their wings. But in Nigeria, everything is allowed. Only God will help us in Nigeria. I'm telling you. Because people don't fear God. God bless my country. Good.
Much for that.
The conversation. We're still having the conversation on Nigeria's corruption. Do you think that the perception that you have concerning corruption in Nigeria. Are things getting better based on your experiences and what you have seen so far? Now we have some couple of WhatsApp messages. I'll take this one from Prince Ahmed Yusuf Obangari. He's sending this one in from Adkan Estate in Gwarimpa, Abuja. And he says, good morning, Trust TV. This is my humble contribution on this topic. Nigeria's corruption perception is a mixed bag. The country scored 26 out of 100 in the 2025 Corruption Perception Index CPI, retaining the same score as the previous year. Now, this indicates stagnation in the fight against corruption. Nigeria's global ranking dropped 2 places to 142nd out of 180 country assessed. Now, he gave some key, it's a bit of a lengthy one, so I'll just pick up the basic things that he stated. He mentioned the key challenges: oil theft and subsidy fraud, shrinking civic space, positive development. He said asset recovery, international cooperation, e-governance tools, and overall, while there are some gains, Nigeria's corruption perception remains a pressing concern. Thank you, Prince Ahmed, for sending in your WhatsApp message this morning.
All right, we have another message from Jacob Ode from right here in Abuja. He says, good morning, presenters. Things are not getting better in terms of corruption in Nigeria. In fact, it is even getting worse by the day in all spheres of life, including worshipping centers where holiness is supposed to be our watchword. From top to bottom and from the bottom to top, corruption is still dancing naked in Nigeria. All right, thank you very much, Jacob, for that.
All right, we have another WhatsApp message from Dan in Port Harcourt. He says, good morning. Nigeria standing on the Global Corruption Perception Index CPI published annually by Transparency International shows a very modest improvement over the past couple of years. But overall, the picture remains challenging. In the 2024 index, Nigeria climbed slightly from 145 to 140 place, with its score inching up from 25 to 26 out of 100, suggesting a marginally better perception of public sector corruption compared to the previous year. However, in the most recent 2025 CPI, Nigeria slid to 142nd place while retaining the same score of 26, signaling little real progress in reducing the perception of corruption across government and public institutions. Now, despite these slight shifts, corruption is still widely seen as deeply entrenched in many parts of Nigerian society, affecting governance, economic growth, and public trust. High-profile convictions and asset recoveries by anti-graft agencies offer some reasons for the cautious hope, and recent developments like Nigerians' exit from the FATF grey list for financial crime compliance point to incrementally institutional gains. And yet, the persistence of low CPI scores and ongoing public concern about misuse of public office make it clear that much more consistent political will, transparency, and accountability will be needed before Nigerians can confidently say corruption is truly receding. Thank you for sending in your message, Dan.
All right, next up, we have a message from Akerele Henry from Ogun State. It says, good morning. My opinion, Nigeria's corruption perception is showing some marginal improvement, but it's still a challenge. The country scored 26 out of 100 in the 2025 Corruption Perception Index, retaining the same score as the previous year. Globally, Nigeria dropped 2 places to 142nd out of 182 countries assessed. However, deep-rooted challenges persist, including judicial corruption, nepotism, and declining public confidence in the justice system. The report calls for a stronger institutional independence for anti-corruption agency, greater transparency in judicial appointments, and reforms in the security sector. Thank you very much, Akerele Henry, for your message.
Okay, we have another message from Linus. It says, good morning, Trust TV. My name is James Linus from Akwa Ibom State. Things are not getting better as regards corruption in Nigeria. Everyone in Nigeria is corrupt, and government will continue to take the blame because that's the government, are not ready to take responsibility in doing things right. Thank you for sending in your message.
All right, I believe we have another message, and this one is quite an angry message from Ekene from Abuja, and he says, our problem in this country, the lawmakers, simple. All right, thank you very much, Ekene, for that. Now, looking at all that Nigerians are saying at this point is that no matter how much there's progression when it comes to the Corruption Perception Index, it still boils down to what is going on ground in Nigeria. So it is quite understandable that there needs to be accountability and there needs to be a halt when it comes to being able to understand and know that the effects of corruption in the fiber of the government, in the fiber of Nigerians being, and in every dealing that is done in Nigeria.
And also, okay, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
I believe that is all we have.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, that is all we have this morning on our phone-in segment. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back, we'll dive into our discussion segment. We're still talking about Nigeria's corruption challenge. We'll be analyzing on the new ranking and implication, and we have a guest who will be joining us to help us, make sense of what we'll be discussing this morning. Do stay with us. We'll be right back shortly.